Hello everyone. Welcome to this e-learning platform. I am JOSEPHINE THERESA, working as an assistant professor, Department of Computer Science, St. Joseph's College, Trichy. Let us explore how knowledge representation works in artificial intelligence and machine learning. Let's move on to the PPT. Data represent unorganized, unprocessed facts and figures. It should be in any method. It should be a semi-structured format. So data is very, very important for knowledge representation. See the diagram, unorganized information, how the files are to be organized and how the food items are to be unprocessed. This is the best example for knowledge representation. So data is a very, very important fact for knowledge representation. Let us move on to that, how the knowledge representation works. Knowledge is human understanding. We know the subject matter that has been acquired through proper study and experience. With the help of this proper study and experience only, human can understand the problem. So knowledge is usually built by learning. Learning makes perfect thinking. Thinking gives a proper understanding of the problem area. So these three things is very, very important for knowledge representation. See the diagram, how the data, information and knowledge can be expressed here. Data, that is applied for what purpose? It should be form information. This information form a built and process knowledge. So data is first part. It can be converted into information. Second part, the information can be transferred into knowledge. The knowledge can be transferred into wisdom. So the final one is that wisdom. So before we start that any problem, we know about the data. So data is an important fact of the knowledge representation. Now let us know about knowledge management. Knowledge management, we have some set of strategies and practices. What is it strategies? Some methods, some approaches. We have some methods, we follow some practices and we identify the problem. Then we can distribute. Then we have to adopt that particular problem and we got a new experience. That is it. This is the management of knowledge representation. Here we follow some hierarchy. So this artificial intelligence knowledge representation may use DIKW hierarchy. What is a DIKW? The D is for data, I is for information, K for knowledge, and W for wisdom. The first thing is that first we understand the problem, then only we move on to the context of that particular problem. See that one, data, information, knowledge, we have a past experience and wisdom only, it gives a future experience, future knowledge. What is the meaning of that one data? The first step is we have to gathering some information. We have to gather some information. Then all the information can be connected with one by one. Then some formation, some format we have to follow. That is it knowledge. And final one is it wisdom. We have to joining all the holes. This is a novelty. This is a new knowledge, new wisdom I got. New information I got. That is the meaning of wisdom. The first understanding means we have to researching that particular area. Then we have to absorb some knowledge. We have to do some practices doing and we have to interacting. Then only it will reflecting. This is the DIKW hierarchy. Let us see about that. Neil Fleming author. This author proved that collection of data is not only an information. Collection of information is not a knowledge. Collection of knowledge is not a wisdom. Collection of wisdom is not truth, he says, but all should be in it some values. So let us see about value of knowledge management. Data is anything that it but represents facts. Facts means true knowledge. This produce some value of results. So data never from knowledge. All should be in it as without these associations and related data, we can't understand the problem. We can't understand the situations. So by associating with all those things, we are able to perceive the apt meaning of that particular problem. That is value of knowledge management. Let us move on to that. What are all the categories of knowledge? The categories of knowledge in knowledge representation may three things. One is symbolic, second one sub-symbolic, third one hybrid. Symbolic means discrete or expressed in a formal languages. Some languages we have used, some symbols here we have used. Sub-symbolic, this cannot be represented by single symbols. All should be stored in the form of information. Third one is that hybrid. Hybrid may both types. Either it should be a formal language or either it should be in a form of representation of informations. That is it, hybrid. Now, how these knowledge can be represented in knowledge representation in artificial intelligence. One is it declarative and the second one is it procedural. What is a declarative? Declarative means knowledge or facts. That is objects or events. For example, we are taking any current state of a particular problem. That is it declarative. What is it procedural? Knowledge is always represent the skills. For example, if Johnson is a human, then obviously Johnson has two legs and two hands. This is procedural. Let us move on to the types of knowledge. Types of knowledge, declarative knowledge, simple relational knowledge, procedural knowledge, inheritable knowledge, inferential knowledge. What are the basic two classes of knowledge? Let us already I have discussed declarative and procedural. What is the three kind of declarative knowledge? Once again, we have it relational, inheritable, and inferential. This is the basic cycle of knowledge representation. The first one is at perception. At what perception you are taking this problem? And the second one, we are learning that problem. That learning gives knowledge representation and also it gives it reasoning. Then we move on to that planning that problem. Finally, we can execute that particular problem. So this is the cycle of knowledge representation. The declarative knowledge. Declarative knowledge know about something with concept, facts, and objects. Obviously, it is represented independently. This is the best method to use the knowledge. And this knowledge about control that will guide the solving mechanism. So several different type of mechanisms also we can easy to solve a particular problem. That is a declarative knowledge. So let us move on to that simple relational model. Simple relational model is the easiest way. In the key term, simple is a key term here already they have given. So it is a very simplest way to represent. The same mechanism is also here used here in the database also. Normally in that relational model. So all the databases are intended to provide some relational knowledge. For example, see that example, adult should be a male, male. Male means either it should be a player. Is a player or not? Is a player? Yes, as a player means what they have. Either he may or a cricket or she may or a football. Okay, cricket means which person working as a playing a cricket? Peter. Peter is playing a cricket. Ankit is playing the football. So this is an instance. So we can easy to be related the data. That is, this is very, very suitable for database. Relational model is very, very suitable for relational model. Relational knowledge can be represented in the following ways. What are all the ways? Let us see. It should store the facts in simple way. Set out each fact about set of objects systematically in columns. So little opportunity only for inferences. So knowledge is the basis for inference engine. This is the basic way of defining the relational knowledge. So easy way to represent a declarative fact is to use a relation. So normally in database, we have a rows and columns. In each and every column, we have a name, we have an attribute, we have that each and every column will represents the particular value. So this can easy to represent a knowledge representation. So major issue in this method knowledge is no much represented. So we need more mechanism to improve this representation, so that only we move on to the inheritable knowledge. So relational knowledge and attributes are very, very important, because in that each and every value should be associated with particular values. So what is the property of inheritance mechanism? Elements is always inherited from members of a particular class. So the hierarchy of a class is data is organized in a hierarchy of classes that will always reflecting the inheritance property. The next one is that inference mechanism. This is augmented with that inference. It is basically designed structure will operate by using this inference mechanism. So hierarchical knowledge structure, that is that knowledge should be in a structured form. So this is useful for representing knowledge as a graph or tree. What is the goal of hierarchical structuring? This will facilitate the generalization and specialization. Nodes will always represent the concept or classes. Edges will always represent the relations. So this may be a class-class relationship or a class instance relation. So this mechanism, this will employ that inheritance of the properties and values. So this could support simple and multiple inheritance and default values. So this is the block diagram of inheritable knowledge. The next one is that referential knowledge. Referential knowledge is inheritance is the powerful form of inference. So here it is not only a useful form, but here we use that knowledge. So for example, logically, how I can write here? For all x and y, person of x and not under age of x and not job of x or y related to unemployed x. So this is that referential knowledge. Here I referred with the person, all the person of x or existing of a person of x and under not age. That means that particular person not having a job. That is, these persons are totally unemployed. The next one is it procedural knowledge. The procedural knowledge can be represented as programs in many ways. So here how it is to be executed means the machine can use this knowledge. So knowledge is defined as algorithms to infer a new knowledge from facts. So knowledge is computationally, it is very, very efficient one, but it is more difficult to obtain new knowledge from it. It is very, very complex to modify that particular data. Then I hope you understand the uh, basic things of knowledge representation in artificial intelligence and machine learning. Hope this could help you a little bit in your learning of knowledge representation. Hope this video is make um, helpful to you for learning purpose. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you.